G'day Gear Junkies, Jason here. A couple of months ago I made a video about 3 unique Boss pedals that didn't fit into a particular series of Boss pedals. And when I looked through their catalogue I noticed that there are several other models of Boss pedals that don't fit neatly into a series. Pedals like the XT-2 Xtortion and the EH2 Enhancer. But before I go too far, if you like this kind of content, please subscribe. And if you want to support this channel, you can go to the Middle Age Gear Junkie store and purchase some merchandise, or you could support me through Patreon, where I'm uploading additional content, including an extended version of this video. The first pedal I'm going to showcase today has been requested several times. It came out in 1989, which was towards the end of the second generation of Boss pedals, and that is the Boss CH1 Super Chorus. If you have a look at the progression of Boss's chorus ensemble line, the CE1 has a single control, the CE2 has 2 controls, the CE3 has 3 controls, and this one has 4. Now when you consider when this came out in the Japanese era Part 2, they were moving all of their pedals to a 4-knob uniform layout. So this pedal should have fit perfectly between the CE3 and the CE5. The reason they didn't call this the CE4 was for Japanese cultural reasons. Now, I can't remember if it's the word for 4 or the symbol for 4 is very similar to the symbol for death. So they've only ever used the numeral 4 on a single pedal, which was the PQ4, which came out in 1991. So instead of calling this the CE4, they gave it a completely different model name and called it the CH1 Super Chorus. Because I'm a bit of a nerd, I found the use of the numeral 1 to be very interesting on this pedal. They hadn't used the numeral 1 since 1981 when they brought out the ST1. Basically, they shelved that number and started all new pedals on the numeral 2. And they wouldn't use the numeral 1 again till 2014 when they brought out the DS1X and the OD1X. Personally, I think the CH1 is one of Boss's more underrated pedals. I actually prefer it over the CE5. It's super easy to dial in a good tone. Now, because they've been made since 1989, there are so many of them out there that you can pick up a real bargain for these. However, the current day versions of this pedal are slightly different to the originals. So the originals that were made from 1989 to 2001 were analog. The current day versions of this pedal are digital. So the way to tell them apart, other than dating the serial number, so if it came out from 2001 onwards, there's a high chance that it is digital, is the label on the analog ones was pink and the current day ones are black, and I think they were grey for a while as well. In the extended version of this video, I'm actually going to play these back to back a few times to see if you can tell the difference between them. Next up, we have a pedal that came out in 1990, which was the final year of the second generation of Boss pedals, which was the EH2. This has 3 controls, which are effect level, frequency, and sensitivity, with a separate LED to indicate the amount of sensitivity running on this pedal. I've come up with an uninspired clean sound out of my Marshall Plexi. I've got the EH2 running in front of it, and I'm going to start off without it. I'm going to add it into the signal, and I'm going to take it out again to see if you can tell the difference. Now I've set the plexi up with a mild drive tone, and I'm going to do the same thing. According to the Boss book, the EH2 was designed for those people that run a lot of effects and start to lose a bit of clarity. It says that it shapes the contours of your guitar tone to give you more definition, which I would probably agree with that a little bit, but to my ear, it sounds like it's scooping out a bit of the mid-range and emphasizing more of the sort of pick attack frequencies. So, I mean, that's something you could probably do with an EQ pedal. I don't think you need a specialized pedal just for that particular function. The EH2 was made from 1990 to 1998. If there was a competition to find the most unique Boss distortion pedal, the XT-2 Xtortion would have to be one of the contenders. Some of the controls on the XT2 are very interesting. So it's got level and distortion, and the distortion on this is supposed to be comparable to the metal zone. Now the two knobs in the middle are the interesting ones. It has a contour control, which helps you to shape the focus of the mid-range, so kind of like a pushed mid-range or a scoop mid-range, something like that. And then the other control is called punch. Now the punch adds this frequency into your signal. It's very, very honky, very, very mid-rangey, and it kind of sounds like a cocked wah. Now, if you're familiar with GNR and Slash's guitar tone, for some songs, it sounds like he's got a wah in a what we call a cocked wah, a stationary wah sort of sound, and it helps his guitar to really cut through the mix. Now, I'm not saying that you could use this to get Slash type tones, but when you turn that punch control up, it really does remind me of that sort of GNR cocked wah tone. A while ago, I made a video about the XT2 and its cousin, the PW2 Power Driver, explaining how these two pedals didn't really fit the musical landscape at the time when they came out in 1996. Both of these pedals were discontinued very, very quickly as a result. Now, according to the Boss book, the XT2 was designed to play new aggressive styles of hard rock, including grunge. Now, when I looked at the comments of that video, there was a lot of love for the XT2. A lot of people say that they still use it today, and in fact, there was one guy that said he even uses it on keyboard. But most people agreed that the best way to use the XT2 is to turn the contour and the punch controls below halfway. The XT2 was in Boss's catalogue from 1996 to 1998. That means that there's not a lot of units out there, and they are fast becoming a cult classic. So the prices on these have skyrocketed in recent years. They've more than doubled in about the last 3 years or so. The last pedal I'm going to look at came out in 1982 and coincided with the release of the BCB6 pedal board that Boss released, which was a molded plastic pedal board that could house up to 6 pedals. And that is the PSM5 power supply and master foot switch. The idea behind this was that it would be the first pedal in your chain. You would plug the power supply into this pedal and then daisy chain power out of this pedal to your other 5 pedals on that particular pedal board. This pedal could be used as a master foot switch to cut your signal. Now keep in mind, this came out 15 years before their first tuner pedals, which have that function. For me, the most useful aspect of this pedal is the fact that it has a send and return. So your signal comes in here and it comes out the other side. If you don't have anything plugged into the send and return, when you hit the foot switch, it will act as your master mute. However, if you do use the send and return, you could have 2, 3, 4, 6 pedals going through that send and return. If you have them all on, you can activate all of them at once using the foot switch here. The PSM5 was made from 1982 through to 1999. Now, although this isn't made anymore, its functions have been reused in other Boss pedals that have come out since. So the TU3 here, for example, has the 9-volt output. So if you have a look at the top of the pedal, it has a 9-volt in and a 9-volt out, just like this pedal. Also, the tuner pedals that came out all use the foot switch here as a master mute, just like this pedal. Also, the send and return idea has been used in the LS2 line selector. This actually has 2 send and returns. So please comment below and tell me if you used to own one of these pedals back in the day, or if you still have them, and or if you still use them and how you like to use them. That'd be really interesting. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. If you want to support this channel, you can go to the Middle Age Gear Junkie store and purchase some merchandise, or you can support me through Patreon, where I'm uploading additional content, including an extended version of this video. Other than that, my name is Jason. Have a wonderful day. See you later.